it's funny because you think you get it till you get it. You know, you're like, shit, I'm 300 pounds too. You know, I'm a big guy. You know,
Right.
I got some body parts, and then you see it, and I'm looking at Stu, and I'm looking at me. I'm like, yeah, there's a disparity here. There's a disparity here. You know, so you it takes a while to really get it. I mean, there's gonna be, like Stu, there's gonna be freaks that just day one, it's like first time, boom, they got that look. You know, but for most people, more than not, it takes it takes you a while to really understand what you're getting yourself into. Yeah, but also Stu is not the. I think he gets it more now, but at the time, I don't think he understood that he's not the norm. He's the outlier. You know, I think it took him a while to get that because I felt like because that happened so fast, he kind of felt like that's more normal. You know, and then I think as he gets older and sees other people, he realizes, okay, I'm not normal. I'm the outlier. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of hard to get that perspective if all you know is you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
you got to get in the mix a couple times to really see where you're at. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. I also felt like the good thing is that I didn't feel like he had any expectations. I felt like he showed up, and what happened.
Yeah. He didn't know what he was expecting because he was only like first time at national show. You know.
Exactly. So Stu is also very humble. Sometimes almost too humble, and it's not fake. I mean, he doesn't feel like he's anything special. You know. Which is a good thing.
You got me? Am I here?
Yes, sir. You here?
All right, cool.
So try to turn this sideways. Let me see if it's locked in now. Boom.
Perfect. There we go.
We got action. All right. So yeah, I was saying the first time. What is he looking at? My dog keeps looking out the window. I feel like you got to take a dog's word if they're like nervous about something. Like something's making him uncomfortable here. Right. But yeah, the first time I saw you was USA's 2022. Was that your first USA's?
Well, not my first national show. I usually don't talk about the first one because yeah, I got lucky. I went. Yeah, I was lucky. I would think I was maybe 22, 23. I got an overall win at a regional show, and I had no idea. I didn't know what nationals was. I didn't know what USA's was. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna go to Florida in 2017 and just do nationals. Yeah. Like if you saw me, you wouldn't even recognize me. I look like the first classic physique competitor, you know, like was classic physique even around in 2017?
Oh, maybe the first. That might have been the first year. You know,
yeah, I think it was. I think it was because I met Nick Walker there, and he asked me. We were getting tan together, and he asked me. He said, "Oh, you doing classic physique?" I was like, "No, shit. Dude. Yeah. I still get asked that question. It's all good. Maybe in a year they'll stop asking me that."
See, like back then it was kind of a diss. Now it's almost like a compliment. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because if they say that now, they just mean you have really good aesthetics and good posing for the most part, you know. Back then, they were just trying to call you small.
yeah, no, exactly. Well, I still take it as somebody's trying to call me small. But, hey, it's all good. I'll take it as it is, you know.
So, Jacob, you remember backstage at the USA's?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We were fucking standing there butt ass naked, drying off in the tanning. That's when we met.
Yeah, that's it. That's the best way to meet.
Yeah, right.
Hey, what's up, Ken?
What's up, Ken?
What's up, Ken?
Hey, Jake. How you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Good.
And me, loud and clear, Clay. Loud and clear. Okay. Yeah, me and Rafe, we're talking about like that first nationals. It's like a lot of times you don't really realize what you're getting yourself into. You think you get it, but you don't. but you don't really get it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for me, I don't really talk about my first one either. You know.
Oh
So
yeah, you should. There's like some candid shots I saw of me, whatever, whoever was taking pictures of the show, and my eyes were just like this. Like I was like, I looked like I was lost at Disneyland. Like, you know, I was 6 years old. I was just like freaked out. Like, what am I? What did I think I was doing? But you know what? I don't have any regrets because that happened in 2017, and you know, it made me like, damn, dude, I got a lot of work to do because we all know those guys where they're just like, you know, just hey, I'm gonna jump in a national show. Let's, you know, got to get my pro card, but
yeah. It's like for that show, I remember I'm looking at it, I'm like, we look pretty good, but we not in the mix. We not in the mix, you know.
no.
What's up, Stu?
Oh, hey, what's up? What's good,
Hey
Stu?
guys.
What's up, Stu?
Yes, sir. You guys know Jacob?
Yeah. Well, no, not personally. I know of
Yeah.
him.
I met
Yeah.
Stu at USA's too. He asked me if I wanted a Snickers. That was like the only. He was walking around with
End of our
I
interaction.
don't remember what was in it, but he had this bowl of like just sweets, and we're about to get on stage. I'm like, this shit's crazy, dude.
I do
It's
remember
good to
that.
get rid of him.
He was like, "Want
Yeah.
Snickers?" I was like, "No, I'm cool, bro. Thanks."
Yeah. Like until that moment, I felt like nobody was really talking much, right? I felt like nobody was talking a whole bunch, but more so because nobody looked very friendly, right? Everybody look. I mean, it's back to you would say it's kind of like nobody looks you know too nice to talk to, you know. But Jacob, yeah, I mean for each year, I mean you've made a lot of improvements, man. I want to say I think it was last year you did. Did you competed last year, right?
Yeah, I did the nationals last year, but it was just, you know, shit happens. It just, you know, just went downhill, and there was no coming back from just, you know, whatever I did. I just pushed it a little too hard, you know, but it happens.
I saw pictures leading into that one, and I was like, "Damn, yo!" I think I messaged you. I'm like, "Holy fuck, this is the best you look by far." I thought you were gonna be right in the mix, you know. But
oh yeah, you know, 2-3 weeks out, you know, I was like, this, you know, this is my best look. But by the time it came to peak, it just, you know, it just went bad, and I didn't get to even display, you know, half of what I wanted to showcase, and it was just like, you know, it just kind of felt like the biggest loss I've had in my career, and I just wanted to come back, just repeat what I did this year before, but just better. So that's what I did, you know.
Yeah, because the beauty of what we do here is, you know, the MPC, we have a database, right? So Jacob, I'm actually looking at your contest history here on the page, and like 2022, you did the USA's as well. I mean, looking at these shots, man, you look good in 2022 as well. Were you a super there as well?
Yeah, I was a super there. I don't remember. I think I was. Yeah, I was in the. I believe I was in the first or second call. I don't remember, but yeah. I just didn't have the condition. You know, I actually weighed heavier there than I did for this previous show. But
so what was your weight this show?
I think I weighed like 234, 235.
Okay, yeah, because I think I saw like a podcast recently with Chris Cormier. Are you also working with him with posing and stuff? Because he said like you and Aceto and him have been kind of working together. So like, I'm just curious, how does that dynamic work with the Aceto camp? Are you doing like posing with him every week, or like is he handling training? How does that kind of work?
So basically, I was almost 4 years ago, I DM'd Chris Cormier, and I said, "Hey, you know, I'm in California. I want to come down and get some training in and some posing, you know."
Yeah.
And make a long story short, I went down there. I stayed in Palm Springs for like 5 days. I just did 5 days back to back, kind of bro split thing. We trained every day, we posed every day, and like the first day I got there, we did some legs, and I was just like, I thought I was training hard. I walked in there, I was like, I could do this. I think we got on the second set of leg extensions. I was like, holy shit, this is. I started rethinking everything I've ever done. Like, is this what it's gonna take? Because this is crazy. So, yeah. Ever since then, I'm in Northern California. So I live 300, 400 miles away from him, and I would just get in my car and drive down there, stay at his house, and just I would get in like a week of training and posing with him. So I've been doing that on and off for the last 4 years. And last year, after my national show, Texas, I was like, I need to up my nutrition. I need to peak correctly. I got the training, I got the posing. I need to get the nutrition right. So I hit up Chris because I emailed Chris Aceto, but he didn't email me back.
He's not gonna answer.
So I got on the line. I'm like, yo, Chris, can you please connect me with Aceto? And he said, yeah, let me see what I could do. And he sent him some pictures of me, and then Aceto was like, yeah, I'll work with them. And then it was just, that was kind of how it all unfolded. So I've been working with Aceto since January of this year, as far as nutrition goes.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I mean, you already have a world-class team behind you. You know what I mean? Like, because I was there at nationals too, and like, you were almost they almost overlooked you, right? Because you were in the second call-outs originally.
I was in the second call-outs.
Dude, he was in the second call-outs, man. Like,
I heard. Yeah, that's wild.
So it's almost like
yeah, but you know what? I didn't even have time to think like, holy shit, this is happening. Like I just held, front relax and just maintained composure, and I walked off stage, and all the guys in second call-outs, they kind of walked away. But I stayed by the stairs because I was like, there's no way. Like I had a little bit of hope. Like they're gonna call me out. Like I don't. And then they called. I think I was like the third number they called. 418. I was like, that's me. Like ran up on stage, and then it was just like, let's go. I'm gonna fight my way to the top. Like,
Yeah.
Second call out to third is crazy. That's crazy work. That's crazy.
Yeah,
dude. Especially in nationals. Think about it, right? The supers are at the end of bodybuilding. Yeah. They've been judging since like, the bantams. So like, it's very rare for them to just redo the judging in nationals. Your place is your place. Like even the supers were the only ones they rejudged. I mean, personally, I think some classes should have been rejudged at finals, but it is what it is. So I mean that's awesome, man, and congrats to you. I mean, phenomenal show.
Oh, thanks. No, I'm super grateful and blessed of the outcome. Like, I've won. Just when you learn, you never lose, right? So
yeah,
right.
All I need is just to watch the grass grow a little longer, and I got the combination. It's just a matter of time. So I'm patient, and I've been working this hard for this long. So I got. I made it this far. I could go longer,
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference between people who love this shit and people who just car chase. There's a big difference between those two people. And just what you said kind of shows that you actually love this shit. That's why it's gonna happen for you. You know what I'm saying? Not that it can't happen if you're car chasing, but it's a different. I think it's a different mindset. When you could just see this card instead of thinking about your physique and like you said, improving every time you step on stage.
Yeah, and I just want to be undeniable. Like, I mean, when we showed up to 2022 USA's, like, as soon as I saw Stu, I was like, okay, that's the guy that's winning, obviously. Like, I mean, I'm gonna do my best, but like that's a whole nother level, you know. So, you know, you got to know what you have, and you got to know what you don't have, you know, and just kind of, you know.
There's always one of those every show, isn't it? There's
Oh,
always
yeah.
one guy like that. Yeah, like I think like it's always one guy because Tofik was that guy at this nationals, right? Like the guy showed up and people were like, "Who the hell is this dude? You know, where'd he come from?" So yeah. I mean, your time is coming for sure, man. I mean, it just shows that super class was stacked. You know what I mean? Like even that super. Usually supers is not a very competitive class conditioning wise.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was conditioned that top call out. So
Well, yeah.
you know, so I mean, any other show, like it just depends on who shows up too. You know, a couple of these shows sometimes. But are you going to do? What's your plan? I guess are you going to do nationals again next year, or you're going to pick something a little earlier, like USA's?
Probably not something earlier. You know, I just need to add more tissue. You know, on some of those front poses, and just you know, have a more complete package. You know, there's some shots I got on the other guys. You know, there's some shots they got on me, and you know, I just need to add more tissue. But I'm not sure. We'll just see how the body responds after this rebound, and you know, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, no, dope.
But the foot's on the gas. The foot's on the gas always. Like I'm always taking, you know, every day seriously. You know, I mean, off-season prep. It's all the same shit. You know, I take it very seriously. So,
how tall are you, Jake?
Yeah, same thing.
5'9" and 3/4, so right under 5'10".
Yeah. You look bigger than 235. You know, which is a good thing. But
well, that I mean, that was always my goal is to, you know, hey, if I could look, you know, 245 at 234 or 235, then cool, you know, because I like playing the shape game, you know, so the shape game, and when I'm hitting those poses, I got Chris Cormier in my corner. I know how to hit those shots, you know, and that's I believe that's one of my strengths, you know, just hitting those rounds time after. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, even you know, posing with Breon, you know, week out from the Olympia, you know, we'll hit and just crazy rounds, dude. Like rounds after rounds, like a workout in itself.
Yeah, no, you definitely stage conditioning was there. I mean, they posed you guys a lot. You know, you, Gio, and Reagan. I mean, you guys held your own. You know, like none of you broke, and they posed you guys constantly. I mean, Beatty, you want to pull him up just so at least people can see what he actually looks like, because he looked really good. Looked really good, man.
Hey, question, Jacob. As I pull this up, what's your experience been like working with Aceto so far?
Oh, there's nothing like it. Like this guy is. I mean, let's just say I was 9 weeks out, and I think it was like a week away from the Olympia, and I ran into Aceto at Elevate Gym. I think Andrew Jack was there, Breon was there. You know, they're all getting ready for the Olympia, and I took some. I did hit a couple rounds of posing with him, and I think I was 9 weeks out. And ever since then, I'm sending this guy pictures and check-ins every single day. Like, and every day he'll hit me back better. Next day, better today. The third day, better look today. Like, you know, and he'll just make these very like minor detailed adjustments, and you know, I got into a good rhythm with him, and he's I mean, they call him the real technician for a reason. I mean, he's really, I believe he's the best, you know.
I've never seen him bring somebody in not in condition, you know. I've heard people say, you know, I want to coach with that, you know, focuses more on off season, or more, it kind of depends, what you want to coach. But every single time they say he bought me in my best, and I'm like, damn, well, isn't that the most important thing, So no matter what somebody left him for, they always say, no, I was in my best condition with him, for sure. And I'm like, well, that's kind of, maybe you need to go back to him,
Yeah, no, he's. I mean, I was telling some people, I was sending the amount of check-in photos I was sending to him. People are like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. But I mean, like, that's cool, different strokes for different folks, like, I mean, I'm all about it, so it wasn't a problem for me.
His style of coaching is very old school. I think a lot of people nowadays aren't used to that. So,
Yeah.
So they don't, I don't know, they might not, but it works. It seems to work. But let me
don't fix what isn't broken, right?
Exactly. Okay.
So when you send them every day, because I've heard about a Cedar, right? When you send them text message, like the check-ins every day, it's like a one-word response sometimes, right?
Yeah.
The progress photos.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Good. And he'll spell some words wrong, and I'm like asking my wife, I'm like, hey, what do you think he's saying right here? Like, like so it's like and I just want to be he works with the best, so it's like I don't want to, I'm very like, I don't want to ask too many questions, I don't want to annoy him,
I completely understand. Completely get it.
yeah, I'm just very like, just rope, I watch his podcast, I watch him on podcasts, so it's like I have an idea of kind of what kind of client he likes.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to be a good client, I want to be somebody that he looks forward to working with, somebody that is just a robot, and that's exactly what I am. I'm just a robot. So because
am I bugging, or did I see a picture of you with I think Nexzilla and Breon?
Yeah, so I got a bunch of like Chris Cormier stories, and we're in San Diego. I'm training with Chris, and he was like, hey, you want to go to Tijuana and train with Rubio? And I'm like, is it safe? He's like, bro, come on, like, just go. I'm telling you to go. And I'm like, if Chris telling me to do something, I just do it. Like, there's, he's more than a coach. He's my mentor. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Dude, we went to this gym in Mexico, in Tijuana, and that's where I met Rubio, because he had visa problems. He can't get into San Diego to train with Chris. So, yeah.
What does that look like?
Nexzilla?
In person, like what does that actually look like?
You'll never see nothing like it in your life. Yeah. You'll never. I have it's just, I have videos. I'll send them to you of just regular, like his legs. I've never seen nothing like it. It doesn't look real. And then I'm like, we go out to sushi after one of our workouts, and I'm like ordering all this sushi, and he gets like one roll, and I'm just like, dude, what the, like, there's just some people, got it a little easier, but he works hard too, and he comes from humble beginnings. Like, this guy is, we didn't talk much, but we laughed and we trained. He just said, you crazy, because when I train I go hard. And then I'll say, hey Rubio, that was crazy, huh? He goes, see, that's it, that's all.
What I've heard from everybody is that he has the biggest legs they've ever seen in their life, and he's actually leaner. He appears leaner and harder in person than he does in videos and pictures.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw him in Dubai. He didn't. He just looks squishy in pictures, but there's more separation in real life.
I kept hearing that because I honestly in Dubai, from the videos and pictures that he was dancing and shit, he didn't look in very good shape. But from what I heard, no, he wasn't like peeled, but
Yeah.
I heard that he was actually
It
in really
wasn't
good shape.
in shape, but like not as bad as it looks.
Okay. Uh, do you think that's because he's so big, or like a skin texture thing more than anything?
Um, I don't know, man, because
It's
like
hard to
the
say.
front of his quads are like weirdly blurry, and then he'll have like hamstrings and detail on his quads from the side. Like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like they're so big, and then they're just like they're separated too, but just like they just look watery all the time.
Yeah. So
It looks like just swollen, like inflated or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really weird.
yeah. Well, y'all like I feel like early Big Ramy was kind of like he's in shape, but there's like a little bit of a softness that's like throwing you off just a little bit, you know.
Yeah, more
So
like with him it was more like freshness, like it
Yeah.
was new muscle, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, Rami always had like in shape. He always still had like separation. It wasn't deep. They weren't deep cuts, but you could still see the separation on him. Rubio is kind of just like it seems like there's separation, but there's like muscle sitting on top of it that you can't see it. It just seems like there's just so much bound up shit in there, that you just can't get the separation that you're looking for. I don't know. He's an anomaly for sure, though. He's definitely an anomaly.
Did he pick a show yet, or did anybody feed?
He did say, but his camp said he's doing New York, so we'll see.
This camp, bro.
He just
This
goes
man
see-
needs this man needs a lawyer or something. Like, what's up with this camp? Like, they just say random shit, and it's like everybody says he's saying it, but we haven't heard him say one word. We just hear the fucking rumblings in the camp. He needs a spokesman or something, a translator. Get that
Yeah.
man a translator. I think Chris is the guy. I think they should let Chris talk for him. I feel like Chris would have a better communication with us in the U.S. than the camp. The
Chris
camp doesn't have good
Spanish?
rapport, huh?
Does Chris speak Spanish?
He speaks. He understands enough
He's
enough
probably
sentences.
been across to Tijuana enough times that he knows some Spanish, you know?
He has a good way. He just knows how to talk to so many different people. I mean, he only speaks English, but I mean, it's just. I mean, he has a lot of clients that are, like Chinese and, I mean, just all from all over the world. I'm like, I don't know how he does it, but
Yeah,
he
he
manages
mastered.
somehow.
That's interesting.
He kind of mastered the body language thing.
There you go, for sure.
I saw. Let me see. All right, let me pull up some stuff. Let me pull up AJ. I think I saw his page. AJ Kelly. All right. I thought this was already a thing. I thought we already knew he was doing Pittsburgh, but it wasn't confirmed until now.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. You talked to him.
Oh, okay. So, Nick is he said on the podcast. Okay, I gotta check it out. But yeah, he's doing Pittsburgh, and so is Martin, right? And so is Martin, and allegedly Derek, but I don't think that's confirmed either. Well, he said he wanted to do multiple shows, so I'm sure
Right?
it's called. They call it he's doing. Oh, he said he might, right? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Said he might.
Detroit, Arnold, Detroit, and then maybe Pittsburgh, I think.
Damn, yeah. I think we're gonna see a lot of people in Pittsburgh. It's just I think it's a great show to do. To kind of get your name out there and stand in front of the Jim and Tyler and Steve and all of them. All right, let's see. I still want to get AJ on the podcast, bro. I like that guy. All right, we got a Samson update. Do you think Samson? Okay, who do you think has better legs than Samson in IFBB?
In the IFBB,
Yeah. Okay, that's
Carlos.
that's at that level.
I'll put Carlos there. I'll put Carlos up there with legs. Are we talking about just quads, or are we talking about the full leg development?
Oh, the entire thing. We go entire leg.
His
Yeah.
hamstrings aren't particularly good.
That's exactly that. That's where I was going to exactly. So I'll take quads. He's definitely up there, but I don't know if the full thing, the legs, the quads, and the hams. He's like number one. I don't know about that.
Mhm.
You know, there's a few guys out there. Carlos just comes to mind when I think about legs. Nexzilla, if it was conditioned right, Big Ramy, you know, pre whatever happened to him.
Yeah.
You know, Samson doesn't have like a wow body part, right? Like
No.
when you say someone has the best of something, it's usually like that's like their wow body part, right? Samson is perfectly balanced. So to me, I think that's an overhyped statement, personally.
I think
No.
Grammy's side leg is like the best because not only is it huge, but he's actually got like tons of lines and striations going
Strips.
through it.
Yeah.
I don't think Samson had the best legs. I'm just asking who do you think has better legs than him of the top guys. But like you said, I think to have the best of something kind of means that you're not balanced, though, right? If I can say you have the best calves, it usually means because it's out of proportion with the rest of your body to some extent. You know, I could say Samson has a big chest, he has big arms, but if you say big everything, then it just kind of means that he's just imbalanced, which I think Samson is probably the most balanced person up there at the Olympia stage besides Martin. I could make the argument between him and Martin. You know, so yeah, I don't think he has the best legs per se. I think he has one of the biggest legs, but Rubio, if we're talking about big legs, I don't think anybody has bigger legs than Rubio. If you factor in conditioning as well and the overall leg, we talking about detail, separation, size, all of that. I think
I also
we're talking.
put Vito. I'll put Vito there too.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, so then I will go Martin, Vito, Hadi. The only thing Hadi. Oh, you don't think Hadi has some of the best legs as far as size and detail?
I mean, I don't think so. Does anyone here think Hadi has like massive legs? Am I alone here on this island?
I think his legs are great.
I think his legs are great. I mean, I like detail. That's me.
Yeah.
But I mean, could they
Hadi,
be bigger? Yeah, I mean, legs could always be bigger, right?
Hadi has massive adductors. He's got massive adductors, but the quads themselves, the actual sweep of the quads, are not that massive.
Right.
Yep, exactly.
He's moving a lot. Oh, you're still one.
But like, the overall
On the
space that it takes up, like his legs, like is crazy. You know, he's short, which helps, but like he just looks so stout and like muscled. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but once again, I mean, his legs aren't like out proportionately better than, I mean, the rest of his body. You know, I do think he has crazy detail, size, and a pretty balanced leg. He doesn't have the
Glutes and hams that Martin and who's the other guy? The Vito and Martin has though, because they have huge legs. They have glutes, hamstring, quads, and calves, and they have insane detail: glutes, hams, quads, all that shit. So, you know, but once again, I think Martin is so balanced that nobody's thinking that Martin could have one of the best legs, right? Which is a good thing because he's actually in balance, right?
Since we're on the topic, I hate to bring this up, but Martin does have a really severe imbalance between the left and right side of his legs.
I've never noticed. I've kind of noticed with Hadi a little bit.
He poses around it, but there's a really significant size difference between his two legs. His right leg is smaller.
Wasn't that from a quad tear a year or two ago?
No,
Yeah, I think I heard him say that.
Sciatica.
Oh,
He had really, really bad sciatica.
Some nerve damage.
I don't know if it was damaged or what, but it was really painful. And I think he's got it sorted now. So
Hey Stu, didn't he say he had a slight tear on his quad? Huh?
Hamstring. Frog.
Oh no, that's on stage. I'm talking about in the gym. I don't know if it was this year or last year. There was a year. I think what
Raph is talking about. There was a year where he said he had like a tear on his quad. No, or am I just making that up? Is that what you were talking about, Raph? Rafe?
Yeah, I can't remember though to be
Okay.
accurate.
I was watching the video of Martin, and he said he like right before his show he tore a quad, but
What I thought I remembered too, but I can't remember exactly.
that might have been years ago. But I mean, it makes sense if Stu feels like he saw it in bounds. But let me try to pull something up. I haven't noticed.
On the right, dude, stop moving. Fuck. There.
This
Look at
this
his right
old though.
leg compared to his left.
Yeah.
Oh, scroll all the way to the right. I guess that's
I
2019.
guess that's
yeah.
when he turned pro.
I can't tell. Let's see. I mean, I guess that is a thing for quite a few people, and sometimes you can't really tell. But let me see if I can tell.
Yeah, like I
It's
said,
my-
he poses around it pretty well. So pause that there. Oh my god.
Man, you got to up your tech skills, bro.
I just want to get his legs even. It looks like the left is bigger to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
the adductor, the quad, everything is just like fuller and popping more.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a judge mention it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't
guess-
either, which is interesting. Because they said something about Hottie's quad imbalance a couple of years ago when Derek beat him, and that was extremely minor, much less than this.
Well,
The thing about imbalances where it always sucks is, no people would probably have never noticed Hottie's imbalance till it was mentioned. Same with Martin. I've never noticed.
That was not
I
my
never
intention
noticed.
here, by the way.
No. I'm not saying you at all. I'm not saying you at all. But it's like, when there's an imbalance, like unless it's called out, you don't typically see it. It's very hard to really see it unless you're really, really looking at the physique. So I mean, props to you for seeing it because I've seen Martin's physique for quite some time now, and I never noticed that.
Your point, though, like it takes some looking, like time.
Oh yeah.
To notice it. And if you're running through poses on stage quick, like it's hard to judge 6 people in front of you all at once, and you're not going to catch something like that. You're just going to be like, okay, he's got big conditioned legs, got it.
Yeah.
And
well, especially if you're posing around it on top of that, right? And it's already one of your best body parts. If you have a weak body part and it's imbalanced, you're probably gonna have some trouble.
Yeah. But one thing I want to add to that too, though, is a lot of people do have imbalances between the left and right. Like Jay Cutler was also notorious for that. I don't know if you guys realize that Jay's left and right were completely imbalanced.
There's like an inch difference between his quads.
Yeah. So it's not really been an uncommon thing. I think it's just recently where it was used to dock Hottie. That's where it started becoming like a significant blip, in people's judging criteria. So I just find that interesting,
Yeah, I mean, you see people place it's one flaw, right? If you're trying to look at a lineup of guys and trying to find flaws, it's like one minor thing, right? And you could say the same about, Nick's right and left arm. One is much larger than the other.
I didn't notice that either, but now,
dude, I've literally talked about this before on the podcast.
I mean, do you guys have? I mean, we all have a stronger side. We know that. I mean, does that turn into an imbalance at times if you're not constantly focused on training a certain?
Pro tip: if you have one arm bigger than the other, use the smaller one to whack off.
hey, but if you have one arm bigger than the other, should you do the right arm first and force the left one to catch up, or should you do the left one first and hold the right arm back?
Just start with your less dominant.
Yeah. That's what I do. I start with the least dominant and just follow it with the stronger one.
Correct. Yeah.
When the gym I grew up at, the older guys would say, "Hey, the strong don't follow the weak." But what I would say is it depends. If it's a good for Nick, it's a
it's the strongest body part. So I think he'll be better off letting the big one simmer down. I think that's a fair.
Shrink if he's still training it. Like,
Well, I mean, I guess he can try. Why am I not following Nick? What the fuck? This always happens. This always happens when I go on the computer. You know, I told you, I swear I'm following all these people, but every time I pull it up, all of a sudden I'm not following people.
It's the computer, guys.
Bro.
Different profiles on different machines. You know, that's how tech works for me.
I'm dead serious, but you know this happens every single time. I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm not following this person. This is my friend. But
unless he podcast, Batty, every podcast.
Unless he blocked me. Okay, he didn't block me. Okay. All right, so we good. But yeah, let me see. But probably front double, you would see it, right?
Yeah, you can't see it in the most muscular.
Yeah,
he looks very symmetrical in that.
I feel like you could. I feel like his left arm looked fuller than his.
Oh, he had a bigger peak.
Bigger peak, yeah, and
yeah.
I mean, his right arm is still very good, but it's not quite as like, you know, his peak isn't reaching up to his wrist there.
Right.
Why is that?
His right arm, you know.
My left side, I'm right-handed, and my left peak is bigger as well.
But if you notice, he's not bringing his right pinky back like he is his left. You know, that's gonna make a difference. And I don't know why, but even on my front double, I always pull this one down and leave this one up. So I have to consciously, like, you know.
Yeah,
I do the same thing. You know, I'm like,
my right arm is always higher. Yeah, so I have to bring it down.
That I feel like people with peaky biceps usually always have one better peak, and it seems to be the left side for some reason.
Yeah, my left is better. My right is. Yeah.
That's weird. Even with the legs, right? It's always why they're always the left side. It was the left with Jay's, left with what did we just look at? The one we just looked at, Martin. Why? I want to know why that is.
Less dominant. It's a less dominant leg.
It's better recovered. It gives more recovery.
I think too. I think too when you're posing, like for instance, if you're hitting your side chest on your left side for 3 years, and then you start hitting on your right side, it's gonna create a different form, you know.
Yeah.
Like same thing with your front double. If you're sitting into your right hip for a couple of years, and it's like, hey, let's try the left. You know, I was doing my ab and thigh with my left leg extended in front, and then up until a couple weeks out, I was posing with Chris. He was like, let's put the right leg. Let's see what the right leg does when we put it in front, and it just created a more symmetrical look because my right leg is fuller, but my left leg is more detailed. So I think posing and just working around it too is something that, you know, that's where posing comes into play, you know, and you know, that's
I mean, it's reps, right? You know, years of repetitions on one side. It's gonna make a difference at some point.
Yeah, especially like unilateral movements, like a leg press, for example. Like you're pushing with both legs, but I feel like not both legs don't take equal distribution of the weight.
Yeah,
you know. So over time, like the more dominant side or the less, whichever it is, one is always going to supersede the other at some point, you know.
Well, that's why mobility is, you know, something that's important, you know, stretching, mobility. I know a lot of us don't do it. I started incorporating a lot more, and I've seen a significant difference, you know.
You're impinged in a hip or something's going to cause an imbalance, right?
Oh, yeah, you know.
I think that's what the root of Martin's was. It was impingement, that is to say, sciatica, like something pinching his nerve.
You guys never train.
Oh, I was going to say, I think you can correct these things, but you have to have that real conscious, you know, mind to muscle connection, especially in the bilateral movements. You know, if you're going to, you know, if you have that less dominant leg, you really got to put the mind muscle into that as you're pressing so you don't let the dominant side take over.
That's a real thing.
But you guys ever... Go ahead, baby.
Oh, my fault. I was going to say, you guys ever train and
get like a bigger pump with one leg than the other, like a better pump on one side?
Yeah.
Have in the
Yeah.
past, yeah.
I
And
honestly haven't noticed that. Like,
no,
yeah, but my legs are pretty symmetrical. I was really worried my left one was going to shrivel up for a while because I was having really bad knee pain, and I could tell I was doing a lot of work with my right side,
Hmm.
like relative, and it didn't end up being a problem.
Oh, yeah.
So,
What Rafe said, when that happens, I kind of do what Rafe said. I kind of like,
it's weird to explain it, but you're kind of focusing on one leg as you do it.
Yeah.
That if that makes sense.
I do.
Especially you guys ever have those leg extensions in your gym that's like this, and you're like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
bro, my, that shit hurts my feelings, bro. It's like this, so you feel like one is gonna take over more. So I'm trying to focus on the higher one. Like, let me make sure it's, and then it fucks me up. It fucks me up. When that happens, I try to just do single leg because there's some shit like that to throw you off too.
When the
Yeah,
pad's like angled like that.
I hate that shit. It's like, I try to knock it into place something. I'm like, somebody got to come fix this shit, bro. We can't do extensions on this. That's not how it works. You
Yeah,
know?
there's some exercises that I just won't do. What is it? Unilateral. Like I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll ever do a single leg extension. But I'll do a single leg hamstring curl. Standing single leg hamstring curl. But
Mhm.
See, depends on the person because like this thing we're talking about. For me, for example, my right quad strips way better than my left.
mhm.
I don't know why. So I have to. What we've been doing is I incorporate a lot of single leg extensions.
Yeah,
Especially and focus on the left, just to bring that out a little bit more. So I guess it depends on what you're working on for your physique, at the particular time.
Do you pose with that leg forward, the one that cuts up fast?
Uh, Silver tone. So I put my right leg back during a lot of the back poses and front poses. I guess I stand.
Pretty
I don't really. Yeah, I stand on one line. Front
like ab
poses.
and thigh shots or things like that. I'm always throwing the left side forward, for example. And
Okay, so yeah, so you see, I know this. I know this strips a lot better, so I throw my right because my ab and thigh is a variation. So I don't
right.
do the straight on. I do it from the side.
Mhm.
So I throw the right side up usually a lot better.
Because I have noticed, like as I get closer to a show, just posing that one side, I'll just feel so much more pump in that one leg because that's what you're practicing, right? You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think
That's a
too
good
that's
point.
when switching sides, stretching, getting body work done, stuff like that. Because I mean, when I was younger, I didn't have a problem getting a pump on one side over the other. Everything was just you know synchronizing perfectly. But as I get older, I'm 30 now. I'm noticing like little tweaks and stuff. So and rest. Sometimes you just need to rest it. I feel terrible when I'm doing a I don't remember when it was, but it was in the off season. But I was doing leg extensions, and for my right leg was just getting so pumped in my more than my left, and it was driving me nuts. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm take some time off from it, get some body work done, stretch it out, do a little yoga, whatever I got to do to just trying to equal it out, because I mean you could build up scar tissue in those quad. I mean I
Yeah.
mean you got to roll out, you got to stretch.
I feel
How
like,
many huh?
God, baby.
How many of y'all actually get body work done weekly?
I
Thursday,
do.
Thursday, 2 hours every Thursday. The
Oh
last
damn.
2.5 years. It's religious. Otherwise, my quads are worthless
I,
as shit.
you'll
Damn.
My
do
defense,
you'll
in my de-
go
go ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. Sorry,
I
Kennedy.
said I do it. I do it right now every 2 to 3 weeks. But in my defense, I'm moving to weekly because Andrew has recommended it from next week. So, well, ask me again in a month, baby. If I keep up with
Okay,
it.
okay.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you'll recover a lot quicker. And especially if you're trying to bring up a lagging body part or something, and you're trying to bring up frequency on that body part, if it's not recovering, I mean, body work and stretching, I think that'll help a lot.
Jake, you know
So
what it is, man. If I'm being completely honest, man, This shit is not cheap, man.
No,
Not cheap, bro. Not cheap.
no. And it's hard finding somebody that's good. It's hard finding a good body work person. I've spent a lot of money, and I'm like, this guy don't know shit. Yeah. And then sometimes you roll into like a little, Ling Ling massage parlor, and you're like, what? How does she know how to do?
Yeah.
She got heavy
we talked
hands,
about this,
man.
We've talked about this on this podcast before, like especially now that a lot of us are turning pro. It's like, the amateur, everyone's working like you, they're hustling, they're trying to just make a living and try to do this bodybuilding thing on the side. And the pros, they're guys who they make money off this for a living, right? So body work every 2 days, 3 days, like Jay, he's getting it every day or something. And you're like, man, I'm supposed to compete with these guys, I'm just trying to make a living,
Hey,
man,
it gets tough, man. It's not cheap, dude.
It's not cheap, man.
I mean, how much are your guys' body work sessions running?
They're usually $80
Okay.
an hour.
You got a good deal.
I do 2 hours, so
Fuck you, dude.
Damn.
I spent like $900 a month on it, and have for like 2.5 years.
$900 a month.
$900 a month.
Just on body work. Dude, I'm a little bit older, but I've also injured myself enough times. I got to keep those spots cleared out because the scar tissue just goes crazy in like a week or two.
Yeah.
And it's so painful. I can't even lift,
So Ray, when you has there ever been a period of time where you stopped doing body work?
It's been 2.5 years, religious once to twice a week. I have not stopped because I can't function.
What kind of difference did you notice when you religiously started doing it?
When she started, she would touch my quad, and I'd be like, "Holy shit!" So much pain.
Yeah.
Now you can put an elbow in it. She can and scrape and get that blood flow. I come out of the session just fully vascular. The separation. It's helped with a ton of separation. My hip, when she would touch my hip, because I injured my hip like 4 years ago. She couldn't even touch around the hip joint, the IT band. Now she can elbow in there and loosen it up. Man, it's worth its weight.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a time and a place. When you're a little bit younger, it's not as necessary. But as you get stronger, bigger, tighter, more frequent training, you're trying to improve all the time. That's where I've started adding it in.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I had to have the money in order to do it. So, to get to that point in life,
Ray's got money, bro. Ray's got
Not
money.
that much, bro. I work 7 days a week, bro. I just work.
We should have started it off with who's got $900 to spend on body work. That would change the answer.
Crazy, dude.
yeah.
Guess what? Body work is not one of those things that you're gonna get for free because you're a pro or something.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
Maybe I'm just not good enough, but that's not enough promotion on their end to justify that.
There's a lot of work. I mean, the person's going to have to work hard on you for like an hour.
Yeah, especially on a large person.
It's not easy.
Make a difference. It's
like Jake was saying, trying to find someone that's good was half of my battle. Then I found this gal. She's a thicker gal, stocky, and she can put the weight into it. She's got the power, and you got to have that,
Well, not just power. You need somebody that understands the anatomy of the body
with the technique.
Because my guy is he lives around me here, so he comes to my house. He's a Filipino guy, strong. He actually does strongman. So the first time I started working with him, I was like, this guy is going to hurt me, man. Like, I'm not going to be able to train because he's so tough. But like you said, over time, it's gone a lot better. It's just now I really have to up that frequency because, like you said, Rafe, I mean, now we're competing with the best guys. And I feel like that's one of the limiting things right now. Like, I need to start covering these bases to be able to match, But hey, man, I'm working a 9-to-5 job. I'm just a regular guy. This shit costs.
I think all this shit comes down to how fast you can recover. We train our asses off. You got to recover even harder, because if I miss a session, I'm pulling down percentages in my lifts that next week, and that fucks with my head. You know what I mean? I want to be putting my all every time I'm in the gym, and if I'm not getting that work done and I'm not feeling good or rolling out and doing the mobility, I'm not able to perform. So it bothers me mentally on top of it as well, you know.
Well, you can only grow based off your recovery. So
Mm-hmm.
the faster you recover, the more you're gonna grow.
I feel like there was a period of like a year that I got it done religiously every week. The only reason I was able to do that is because the lady that was massaging me, she would harass me all week long until I booked back with her, and it made me feel guilty if I didn't book. But it benefited me because that was the only way to get me to do it until until I checked my bank statements and realized that this is going to be it's adding up. So sometimes even twice a week, and I was just doing it because I felt great as well. I'm not gonna lie, it works. The back pumps I was getting is different. Then I realized that am I really able to really stimulate my back when it's bound up, and it's like not as much as you think probably, because the connection I have with my back, it was night and day, so I mean, it might be worth the investment if you have a lagging body part that you can't get any blood flow to. I mean, that could be a waste of money if you're just hitting all these drugs and food and can't grow your whatever it is, your legs, your back, or whatever the case is. But 9 a month is still.
I almost died. I still can't get over that number.
Damn. That's no joke, bro. That's a lot, man.
What's that? Oh, how much I spend?
Yeah, 9 a month.
She comes to my house, but yeah, I mean, I love her to death, man. She's part of the family now. You know what I mean? Like this is just religious. It's what we do every week.
Oh yeah,
part of life.
I give so much love to my body work guy. I'm like, dude, I tell him every time, you're making my life, like I'm living, work, like it's just making everything better, getting out of bed, just moving around.
After texting Blue when I got off stage and talking to my wife and Kenny that was there, she was the next person I text because literally I would not be able to train if she wasn't helping me. I just wouldn't be able to. So.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
So it was pretty cool.
Hey, Stu, how often you get your deep tissue massages?
Every other week right now.
That's not bad.
That's good.
Not bad. I thought, Stu don't like to waste
money, so but this is good. This is good use.
That feels painful right now. Trust me.
I still am like, man, fuck, every single week, but
yeah,
part of the game.
Stu is gonna be very wealthy one day. My dad used to work at this hotel when he first moved here, and he was like, "Yo, all these basketball players give all these tips. You like Michael Jordan would never give anybody a tip." I was like, that's probably why he's rich, man. That's how it works. Because the other players they're flexing, they giving $200 tips, and everybody's loving it all, but they're really just flexing on each other. Mike is like, I don't give a fuck about all that. I'm rich, motherfucker. I'm not giving nobody $200 tip. Thank you for opening the door, motherfucker. And he goes about his business.
Hey, his shoes are not cheap, right?
No, yeah. Mike is about his money from what it seems. He's not fucking around with his money, but more. Shout out to
about Shaq, man.
Oh, Shaq is. Uh-huh.
He was putting shoes in Walmart. I used to have some of those, the Shaqs.
But
he's got over like 30 businesses. Over 30 businesses. Yeah.
Insane. Jesus. If you Google Shaq, I don't know, Shaq buys gift or whatever, there's hundreds of videos of Shaq paying for people's, like, he paid for a guy's wedding ring, bro. Like, just paying for random shit or just giving people just hundreds of dollars at random. And he's not the one filming it, so it's not like he's bragging about it. If other people, I mean, you can't miss Shaq. It'll be video at a mall and he's just buying people random shit. He's definitely very, I mean, he got the money, but also he's very giving in that way. That's what it seems like.
He seems like a genuine guy.
Yeah, he's dope. He's beat himself. All right. We've been on for a little bit. Let me just check if there's any news, and then we'll get to the questions. I want to get to some more questions today. All right. Let me see.
Are any of you guys going to the Arnold?
Most likely.
Okay.
You'll be there soon?
Animal, probably, huh?
Yeah.
I gotta save money for body work.
What about LA Fit Expo?
Well, yeah,
That's February, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
that's late January, I think.
Or it might be late January, yeah.
It's usually like last week of January, right? Something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna be there because I live, like a less than an hour away.
Okay.
You guys should come through.
You
Go
know what
do
I
some.
realized too, but before you go into the news, I was checking the schedules to pick my shows.
Mhm.
They moved Legion to May. Legion is on May 31st now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Legion's May 31st.
Is that
On
a
the
good thing for
calendar.
you?
Pro on there?
Huh?
Is the Cal Pro on there?
Yeah. CalPro's the week before, and
Oh.
then Legion is the week as the last week of May. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
New York is
Look
the
at that.
first week. Or New York is May 17th. Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
Ken should
There-
jump in the cow.
there's no
I don't know.
there's no Vancouver. Shut up.
I want to see Ken on that cow stage, man, up close and personal.
Hey, listen, they like the aesthetics, man. Maybe
Yeah,
it's for me. Maybe it's
they-
for me,
they-
but I don't know. We'll see.
They might fuck with you. You might get a good reception in Cal. They like that look. That '90s look.
Legion was usually the last show of the year for bodybuilding, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
So now
when
what
was
is
the
it?
qualifier
Just-
for this year?
Wait, they moved Legion to May?
May, it's May
That
31st.
just processed in your brain.
No, because that's a big jump. Like what?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
That's a huge jump to move it. Okay.
I may
Okay.
actually do it. I'm thinking of doing that in New York. These are both in May.
Yeah. Wait.
Burn all your
Oh.
PTO in one go.
Yeah, right.
What I did last
Stu
year.
knows, man. Stu knows.
You got to knock those shows up. Are you guys? I guess Stu does it. Are
You
you?
guys, okay? How many weeks do you need in between shows to rehydrate and dehydrate back again and peak?
I think-
For you in particular.
I mean,
not
I
general.
got a personal preference, but I mean, what do you guys got?
Yeah. Yeah, I think 2 weeks is fine. I feel like 2 weeks between shows is fine. A week is pretty tough, man.
Yeah,
Like
that's
a week
hard.
between is pretty tough.
Yeah.
The
I was
guys that
thinking,
do it all the time are incredible. You know what I mean?
if you're a guy who's naturally dry, like I feel like Dexter could do a show every week for I don't know how long, But I was looking at the schedule for myself next year, and I was like, yeah, I'll do a show 2 weeks before the USA's to kind of practice. And I was like, I gotta be honest, and I could do it in 2 weeks, but the way my water shifts around, I feel like for me it's kind of close. I feel like I might need 3 or 4 weeks to really fully rehydrate and then dehydrate and peak again properly, just for my body.
Are you talking about like a qualifier before a national show?
Yeah.
I would, because what I did is we didn't peak for the qualifier. Just go in as is. You're a top national guy. You shouldn't expect to lose.
You don't want to see me as is, Ken. my ass gonna be jiggling, bro.
Dude, how many weeks do you like?
I actually did the Cal. It was like 8 weeks before the USA's, and I know that sounds horrible, but I was so like tired and beat up that I was able to come off of everything for like 3 weeks and kind of like pull back my training and get fresh again, and then kind of the food stayed pretty low but not as low as the prep. Then I kind of pulled back down hard again, so I actually felt like I got to catch my breath and get excited again. Whereas by show day, you kind of like, fuck, I'm fucking tired of shit, So I feel like I got a second win. So I mean, that's a bit overkill still. I think 8-9 weeks a bit overkill, but just having enough time to catch my breath, feel, I don't want to say healthy, but feel a little bit less shitty, and then pull back down hard. I think works for me, So I think for me, for 3 to 6 weeks, I kind of like I think 1 to 3 weeks is a little bit short for me, But some people like weekly because some people don't have to really dehydrate. Some people just drink water all the way to the show, don't cut water, don't do diuretics. Those people can hit shows weekly and just keep going. I have like physique guys and bikini girls like that, but that's a different look. So,
I mean, I did a decent job this year between New York and Cali. I think I was better in California.
2 weeks?
No, 1 week.
Oh shit.
And then last year, I think I was a little worse in California than New York in 23. And then in 22, when I went from the USA's to Tampa, that's not really representative because I was sick, I was sleep deprived, everything was a fucking chaotic mess. Honestly, that was just kind of weird, but I didn't look good in Tampa.
I didn't think you looked bad. I gotta be honest with you.
It wasn't terrible, but like I was, you could see it in my face, dude. I was exhausted.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I hadn't slept in weeks.
yeah.
Man,
You,
I
you,
also
you
think.
wasn't.
Go ahead, baby.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say you obviously wasn't as good as the following year, but
you look like a pro. I mean, you definitely look like a pro. You know.
I also think that, how hard are you driving into that first show? I mean, if you're an amateur, you might be driving really hard. You might be fatigued, and that's all you got. You know what I mean? When you're a pro, obviously you need to bring a different level of a different expectation to yourself and to the sport, right? So you should be able to set yourself up properly. So I think that's also a factor.
Yeah, because Rafe, that's what I'm starting to realize. Like now that in the pro ranks, because prior to this, I've only competed max twice a year. The qualifier and then the pro, the national show, and now it's almost like you have to strategize how you can extend your prep and peak multiple times over that period for a couple of shows, because at this point you don't want to just do one show and just leave, right? In the pro ranks, it's better to do like maybe three shows before you call it a day, right? It's just better for you brand awareness, and if you win, you go to the Olympia or whatnot. Or let's say you win the third show, now you got to go to the Olympia, right? Now that's a fourth show. So how do you kind of balance those things out? And that's also, I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for like me, you, couple of the newer guys, as we kind of climb up, honestly.
Because
nobody talks about that.
It's not just the cutting into the show and the conditioning the food, but it's also your drug protocols and blood work and how's all that looking on top of it, right?
Yeah.
And nobody talks about that enough. Like the difference between being an amateur and a pro, and some of the things
you have to figure out. I heard on a Menace podcast, they were talking about that. Like nobody like told me what it would feel like to have to stand there and sometimes go through fucking 3-4 rounds and come back out, or go back and come back, do another 3-4 rounds, and they were out of fucking breath. They were like, "What the fuck? This is crazy." Because as amateurs, that usually doesn't happen. That's not really a thing, But also,
big nose.
Huh? Yeah, But also like traveling. Most amateurs have never traveled. I mean, some amateurs. I don't think Joe ever did a show outside of LA. Outside of SoCal.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So it's a lot of people, maybe stay local or maybe drive or even a short flight. But you might have to, take some long flights. Well, don't go to Europe now because that shit is crazy over there. You're not gonna have a better chance in Europe. but you might have to fly around, shit like that. And a lot of people have never even known how their body responds after a 6-hour flight, things like that. So there's so many things you have to factor in as a pro that you don't even think about. You're not going to get to just do one show a year and have a year off season. You might do multiple shows. You might not be able to, time, how we like to time it. Okay, every 2 weeks or whatever. Shit, you qualify for Olympia. You doing the Olympia, it could be inconvenient. It could be like 7 weeks in between. Can't do shit in 7 weeks. You can't grow. You can't. Now you just have to hold that condition for another 7 weeks. So there's so many things that change that makes it so much harder that we don't even talk about. All right.
Yeah.
I think it depends who's coaching you too. Like some people are. I've been just pushed so hard And then with Aceto, it's just been like, just little put, So, I mean, I felt great even coming out of this show, because I did the same thing. I did an amateur show a week prior to nationals to qualify, and we didn't really drop any water, obviously. But so I wouldn't know about doing pro show, but I mean, just kind of it just depends, I guess.
Yeah, because Jake, that's what I'm curious about, right? Because an example with one of Aceto's clients is Akeem. Akeem is doing the Arnold right now. He's been competing since Toronto last year, right? And then he just did the big man in Spain about a couple of weeks ago, and he did the Olympia, and then before the Olympia he did Toronto. So technically Akeem hasn't had like an off season, right, since like last year. He's kind of been in prep, like in between. He's getting better as he's going through each show, but it's like I'm thinking like me as a new pro, like to go through that, right? Like it's almost like a year and a half straight of just prep that he's been doing. And now he's already qualified, right? So even after the Arnold, it's not like he's like, oh, I'm done for the year. He's got to go to the Olympia again this year coming up,
Well, yeah. Well, so him being with Aceto and doing that, I mean, he's in the best of hands because, like I said, Aceto is just like, even when he was doing my prep, it was, foot on the gas, and it was never like full tilt, pedal to the metal. It was like, okay, let's back off the gas a little bit. Okay, little more, back off, little more, back off. So it's really methodical. So I'm sure if they knew what, their plans were as far as competing, they're probably it's calculated, it's meticulous.
I mean, it's working. He's the best he's been, in the last 2-3 years. So it's working.
Yeah, he looks great.
He's been peeled all year long.
He's literally. Hey, I'll be curious to ask Akeem how his preps are going nowadays, because in the past we've all heard like him going down to like 4 ounces of protein and 3 hours of cardio and shit. I would hope and assume that he doesn't have to do that anymore, because it will be hard to do 5-6 shows by doing that. I'm assuming there might be a different well, he's not getting fat to begin with if he's competing all year round, so I guess he doesn't have to lose fat if he's already shredded for the whole year.
I think the problem is just drug exposure. Like if you're in prep for a good chunk of the year, you're on nasty drugs for a lot of the year. Now, Akeem is probably in his 40s by now. He's probably not taking much shit anymore, but still, it's a guy in his 40s who's taking gear, right? So that's concerning. So,
that's true. Yeah,
I don't know. I think when fans are like, ask us like, why don't you compete more? Why don't you just get on stage more? It's like, well, first of all, it's really unhealthy to do this like for extended periods of time. And, it's also like, what if you have a job and you run out of PTO? Yeah. You can't just keep going. Like, you have to go back to work.
And what's the return? Like, let's say you're not a guy who's slated to win that show. What's really the return on showing, the next showing, if you will, right? That's a sort of thing
most guys, considers. Right?
Yeah, because you hear it all the time. Well, why isn't this guy doing the Arnold? He just competed at the Olympia. Like, if he's not going to win the Arnold, what's the benefit to him? Like, realistically, like, let's be honest with ourselves here. Like outside of the exposure, he can go into an off season, clean up, get a little bit healthy, and come back in the later season versus going to the Arnold and now he's on that, just that yo-yo again. So it's questions I don't know the answer to.
I don't know any bodybuilder that their goal is to compete in as many shows as possible. I've never heard that be a guy's goal.
Like Milos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But guys want to win and move up in the ranks. So they have to calculate what's going on here. I didn't win because I don't have enough legs, so I'm not big enough for it. Something has to improve. So let me go improve. And then guys say, just compete more. And it's like, why? Why would I compete more? I need to get better. And it's like, yeah, but trust me, you don't need to get that much bigger. Yes, I do. I do need to get that much bigger. Like, and even not for anything else, why just do a bunch of shows that you know you're not gonna win just because you want to entertain the masses? Like nobody's competing for you. Everybody's competing for themselves. Nobody's competing for the fans. You appreciate your fans, you love your fans, but you're not just gonna change your plans for the year just to step on stage, just to say, this is for you, man, just for y'all to talk shit that I didn't improve anyways. So
And
the idea that
that's what I've mentioned before, because I was on a podcast with Jimmy Mentis and a couple of guys from the 90s. And I was explaining to them, because this topic came up, and I was explaining to them how you had incentives in the 90s to compete, whether you won or not. You have contracts in place where you show up to a show, you are mandated to compete X amount of times per year. That's part of your contract, and that's part of why people were competing that often, right? The guys who weren't winning, they were trying to keep their contracts, versus now, it doesn't, the business structure doesn't work like that anymore. And it's like
paying for your flights, man. Like,
yeah,
you gotta go travel everywhere. It's flight, hotel, tan, all the food you gotta buy there. It's like a couple $1,000s every show you want to do. It's not just like paying your NPC entry fee and driving an hour to the venue. It's a whole different ball game. I mean, maybe if you have a good sponsor, they're gonna cover, some or all of your expenses. But like, I ain't got that, man.
Well, okay, so even like the Arnold, right? Like I've heard people continuously say, "Bro, this is 500,000 on the line," and
I'm like, no, it's not. Samson is getting the 500,000. Nobody else is getting it.
For me,
so it's like nobody's competing for $500,000. Nobody. Like one guy is getting it. Nobody else is getting it. So it's like the idea that you're gonna go win. Like you're not. So to say that you should go compete because they're giving 500,000, it's like. That's not how it works, That's not how it works. The ultimate goal, the pinnacle of bodybuilding is Mr. Olympia. So the goal is to win the Mr. Olympia and only have to compete in Olympia. That's the ultimate top goal. So the ultimate top goal isn't to do as many shows as possible. Sean Ray only did the Olympia. Why nobody talks about him? Why nobody says why he only did the Olympia? Because he didn't have to do any other show, so he didn't. Like the point, though, that's kind of the point, to be at the highest level, so you don't have to do a bunch of shows to qualify. If you feel like it, you can, but that's not the goal here. The goal is to be the highest possible, which is the pinnacle, right? So I don't understand that mindset.
I think what Ken was saying was exactly that. You got contracts to compete. That's how you made your money. We don't have that anymore. You'll get a contract, you might get help with the show, but you're not being paid to compete multiple times a year.
Exactly. Yeah. But even the argument, right? Like I'll listen to Old School Roundtable where Milos would be like, "These guys got to compete more, man. Like it's not about winning. I did 70 shows and won one." It's like it wasn't about winning for you, but for most people, it is about winning. So most people don't want to do 70 shows and win one. Like most people, they want a better. They want to win more shows. I don't know. I don't think that's the mindset for everybody. So it's okay to not think like that. It's not like one is better than the other. It's if that's why you got into bodybuilding, that's great. I'm pretty sure Lee Priest said something like Lee Priest just wanted to compete. He didn't care about wins and losses. That's fine, but it doesn't mean everybody else is like that. You know what I'm saying? So to each his own.
And it's pretty easy. I'm not knocking what Lee's saying, but it's pretty easy to say I just wanted to compete when you're getting paid to do it.
Sure.
It's a big difference. When you start to put your own money into it year after year after year, it may not be so fun to just want to just compete anymore after you've sunk thousands of dollars and you haven't won one show. It may not be so fun,
Expensive, man.
Realistically speaking, yeah.
I mean, even being an amateur, it's like, I got third in the supers, and people are asking me, "Hey, when are you doing the next national show?" It's like, money's not even a question, I spent money going to Texas, Airbnb, rental car, entry fees, the tanning, stuff like that. It's like, I don't want to be this guy doing, how many national shows you did? Oh, I did 8.
Yeah.
Why aren't you pro yet? So
timing. It's timing.
yeah,
thing,
it's just timing. Everybody's different. Everybody's body structure is different, you know. So I mean, you might be that guy that barely made it, barely got your pro card, and then you jump into a pro show and you get dead last, or you could be that guy that wins the overall and goes straight into a pro show, you know.
Yeah, because I told myself when I was before I turned pro, I told myself, you have 3 national shows. You're doing 3. And if you're not in contention within those 3, it's time to hang it up. You don't have it. Ken, you don't have it, man. Just move on with your life. Just be a gym bro and go on. Because at that point, what am I doing it for? You know what I mean? So also in the amateur ranks, you kind of have to give yourself an ultimatum. Like I think it's very sad to see a guy do 8, 9 national shows, you know, mid-30s. He's got a family. He's sinking all this money into it. He's not even making first call outs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why? You know, at that point, why? You know, what is the goal here? You know, I think with competitive bodybuilding, once you get to the national level, you have to be honest with yourself and say, it's not just about showing up to stage, right? It's about winning. Let's be honest. Like even in the pro ranks, it's about winning too. Like none of us here want to have a full career done and have not a single pro win under our belt. What the hell did I do this all this time for? Like, what's the point, right?
That's
you know?
Yeah.
So,
Close to home, dude.
yeah.
You gotta get you gotta get at the end of the day, you're a grown ass man first before anything else. So as much as you love bodybuilding, you got to take care of business. And even clients who want to jump into prep and everything is a mess, I always try to advise them not to. You know what I'm saying? Just because you kind of dropping the ball on life here, you know. So it's like it didn't happen yet. Like, okay, if everything is perfect, you have all the money in the world, and you just compete because you love it. Shit, compete till you 60. Or no, don't compete till you're 60 actually. But keep going and
why
and
not?
have your fun.
Why not?
I'll make it to 60.
I guess hopefully you make it.
We just had a get together at one of my gyms last night, and Rusty Jeffers came there because I coach his sister, and he showed up there, so that was pretty cool. See him? He's 60. He just moved to
phenomenal.
Yeah, just moved to Pennsylvania. So once he gets settled in there, he's gonna work at getting back to the Masters Olympia again. So it's pretty cool. Great shape, great dude. Yeah,
he's also doing well in life, you know.
Yeah,
like Ken said, man, if you over there, you got a family, or even if you don't have a family, you barely making ends meet. You know what I'm saying? You can't get life together, especially if you have a family, and that happens really often, especially out here, man. And like, unfortunately, like some of these people, they really believe they're like God's gift to earth. There's one guy in particular, I'll still see him on Instagram, but like he thinks he's that guy. He really believes it. He honestly believes it, and it's just like it's just a regular subpar physique. There's nothing special there. You know, I'm pretty sure he's like mid 40s too, or early 40s. I'm not sure. You know, but I've talked to him a few times, and some of the stuff he said, it's almost like he's like in his own world, man. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You know, barely making ends meet, bro. A grown ass man. So it's like you gotta figure out life at some point. You know what I'm saying? But like Ken said, if you give yourself an ultimatum, I think it puts more pressure on yourself to be locked in as well. Just so you're not just going years and years of doing the same shit. All right. You want to hit a couple questions and then call it a day?
Yep.
Also, I'm assuming we're not gonna film Christmas and New Year, right? I feel like everybody's gonna be somewhere.
It's paid time off for me, dude.
I bet, yeah.
What paid? Manny hasn't paid me yet.
Let you know, secret, nobody's getting paid.
Yeah.
just trying to make his dollars. You know?
Come on, man. All right, bet.
Beatty said he was just gonna follow me on Instagram finally. That was the deal.
Stupid. I swear it's something about the fucking computer, but I swear I'm not making it up.
We believe you.
Yeah, we heard you.
Yeah, we do.
All right, let's get some questions. Where Jim gives you, especially Noble High Top. Training alone versus training with people. What do you guys prefer?
Alone.
I
Alone.
like my
Right now, alone. I'm very picky. Very picky.
I've found one dude that I've coached into a national level show, and he's strong as fuck. He lifts just like I do. He's quiet. He's strong. It's perfect. But he's leaving in February, so he's going to be back to me again.
How about Ken?
It's like trying to find bodywork people, dude.
Dude.
It's like
Seriously.
Sorry.
it could be your best friend. It could be the strongest guy in the gym that could spot you that you trust. But it's like, there's always something that you're like, oh, dude, he could spot me, but he just talks way too much. No matter how much times I tell him, like, come on, dude, we've been here for over an hour. Let's.
Yeah. Occasionally when I've trained alone, I prefer alone. Occasionally when I've trained with like I've trained with Carlos a couple of times, like occasionally like it's really good. Those sessions tend to be really, really good. But the problem I've had is just in my area, there's not really a lot of like bodybuilders like that. You know what I mean? So I just kind of feel like scheduling too. I train at like 6:30 at night. It's just hard to put everything together. I just prefer alone. I don't want people getting in the way of my schedule. And then, when you're in prep, you may say, okay, you feel a little tired. I'm going to take like a nap and then I'm going to go,
Mm-hmm.
So those little things, just that flexibility, you just can't have it when you have a training.
I don't even want to tell my training partner that I'm taking a nap. I just want to be like free flowing.
That's it.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess the best workouts I've ever had in my life usually happen with a training partner.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean I necessarily prefer a training partner, right? Because there's pros and cons. So some of the cons is, like you just said, especially in prep, but this is all year round. Sometimes I pull up to the gym and I need to fucking take a nap. I don't want to be rushed to the gym because
I don't want to waste your time, because I wouldn't want you to waste my time. So I get to the gym, I'm like, fuck, I got to be there in 5 minutes. But I really need this fucking nap to really have a good workout. Yeah. Now I got to force myself to the gym right now, and I'm not fully there yet. Whereas that nap would have been everything I needed, just shit like that. Or even timing it, and I'm rushing it. I don't want to be on somebody else's time, and which I never am. But I also don't want to be a dick, because what usually happens when I train with somebody is I'm like 20, 30 minutes late, So that's another thing. And then the one thing I don't want, I like consistency. So I would hate to have, this is a great fucking training partner, and then he moves, like Rafe said, or he gets a new girlfriend, and all of a sudden he can't go to the gym here, or something happens, and now I'm like, fuck, I should have just stayed training alone, because now I feel like I'm missing something. So to stop all of that, I just rather train by myself,
You need consistency.
Exactly. And from my experience, it's impossible. It's impossible to have the same perfect. First of all, you have to find the one that fits all the criteria, then keep them for the next 5-10 years. It's almost impossible. You might have a good.
The strength level has to be around the same too, or maybe even stronger than you. But you guys have to be around the same curve. You can't be putting 6 plates and the person's doing 2. It's like you're just delaying the workout at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
I've trained with my girlfriend before. Actually, we've done that. Yeah, it's a little annoying on like a leg press, dude. That gets
two workouts in one. No.
It has to be close enough, but not like it doesn't always have to be the same, or the intensity has to be the same, but the weights have to be close enough that you're not taking.
It's not becoming a problem. Yeah, it's not becoming a problem.
Because one of my favorite training partners was a girl named Jen, and the thing is, for her size, let's say I'm squatting 5 or 6 plates. At the time, she was squatting 3 1/4. But that would get me hyped, because I'm like, this
girl is fucking killing it, And she wasn't a girly girl, She was taking off her own fucking plates. She's like, I did it, so I'm gonna take it off and put it back on. That's what the fuck I want. I don't want to be this. There's not a time to be fucking chivalrous. I'm trying to get a fucking workout. So you can do that shit yourself, with all due respect.
The worst is when you're training with somebody and they're not moving with the same urgency as you, and they're like, as soon as you get off your set, you're taking the weight off, and they're just kind of like, looking at the sky, or I can't handle. So yeah, I think just ultimately training by right here where I'm at right now, training by myself is my best option. If I could train with anybody, it would be obviously with Chris, but you can't, that's just something you can't replicate, every day.
That's what I was going to say, Jake. I would like to get to a point in my career where I can train with a trainer. So not necessarily me training with someone, but someone training me. I've never had that experience. I think there's some benefit to that. Like I wish at some point I get to that place where, you're coming to the gym, there's a trainer there training you, and you're, you can separate, you just have to perform, right? Just perform. You're the ones doing, setting things. I think there's some benefit to that. But that's an experience I've never really had. So I think that'd be pretty cool.
I could never.
Really?
No, dude. I do not like being told what to do in the gym.
Wow. You ever play sports?
No, like with Stu, he's like, don't touch it. Don't fucking touch it. Don't fucking touch it.
Or don't touch me, dude.
Yeah, don't touch me.
God.
Oh, the chest touching?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You're working your pecs, bro. Like, yeah, I'm a professional bodybuilder. I know what's doing
right here. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Thanks, man. Like,
just don't scream at me, man.
I don't
just
like
don't
that
scream
either.
at me. They'll be like 1, 2, let's keep going. It's like, dude, like,
I
come
don't
on,
like any of that.
Yeah, hey,
I don't
dude.
like that. I just need some calm.
Yeah, don't tell me like I'm motivated. Do you see the body, bro? Like you don't have to
working.
Like I'll push myself.
you know what I've noticed sometimes, and I don't fault people for this, but like because I'm a professional, right? And maybe I'm training with somebody who's an amateur. Like we like on gas stuff sometimes, like they'll get more hyped up and into it. And I'm just like, being myself, right? I'm not like yelling or nothing. And they're like, trying to put on for a camera, even if it's not even there.
Oh, I hate
you need to just be yourself. Like,
Yeah. Well,
I'm a pretty calm. Yeah, I'm a pretty calm lifter. I just want someone standing there on those top sets, just if I need that little touch on that last rep. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm getting it. I'm gonna go the distance. You know what I mean? Every time. But
man, training at Gold Venice, bro. I've literally seen trainers like straddle a guy. Like doing pullovers, and they'll straddle the motherfucker. And I'm like, bro, straddling the dude just to. It's not that. It's never been that serious, bro. Why? Why are you doing this?
What type of video we shooting here?
Yeah, bro. What I think it is that I think some of the trainers want to seem like they're doing more than they are, which is sometimes just you don't have to do all of that, bro. You can just train a person.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, the yelling is a bit much too. So I don't know. For me, I think in the prep, I think I could benefit off of it, but it has to be the right kind of trainer. It can't be like some gimmicky weird shit like that.
Well,
go ahead, Rafe.
I was gonna say this training partner I got right now, he's retired military, so he can train at any time. So we just pick the same time every day. So there's like everything fucking lined up. And I trained with him his last 5 weeks into his show where he's feeling like shit, and he helped me. And I actually maintained a higher level through those last 4 or 5 weeks because of that. Just him being there, he didn't have to do anything else, right? So I just take those wins when you got them because you're not going to have them all the time,
Facts, yeah. Hey, these Army guys, Marine guys, all that shit. Oh, they train hard.
Hey, I love when I find one of those guys because they're just awesome, dude. They'll just go.
Yeah.
Form looks terrible, but they'll just scratch and crawl to get that weight up. Like fucking just nuts.
They get busy, Air Force guys though.
Yeah, not those guys.
I don't train with the Air Force guys, man. Yeah. All right. Favorite? No. I don't want peace. I want problems always. Yes. What do you prefer? What do you prefer? Good burger, good steak, good pasta?
Steak.
Steak.
Burger.
Really?
In and out. In and out. You guys got In and Out where you're at? Or?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Melissa loves that shit,
a
but
burger.
I'm a fat boy, man. I
Yeah,
got to eat food.
I was telling Giovanni, I saw his dad at In and Out, and I said, "Hey, I went up to his dad. I was like, "Hey, you're Gio's dad, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Where's Gio?" He's like, "Oh, he's at McDonald's with Stu." I'm like, what? And then I saw that video of Stu behind the register. and then a couple days later, I see Stu on a podcast. His hair's gone. And I'm like, how does this guy grow hair so fast?
I don't grow it fast. It comes off fast though.
But yeah, I was like, I told Gio, I messaged him. I said, dude, don't go to McDonald's. Go to In and Out, especially if you have an opportunity. Because I don't know if he has it in the state that he's at.
No,
New York, no, there's none here.
Yeah.
He got In and Out before finals. He got In and Out.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw that.
That's top secret.
Yeah, I was like, obviously, I did it at the wrong time.
Steak though, but I'm a steak guy, man. Like a good steak, I'll pay anything for a good steak.
What kind of cut?
Me? I'm simple, man. Like, dude, a prime rib or like I like a good T-bone steak too. If I'm really hungry, I get a good T-bone.
How do you want it? How do you want it prepared?
Medium rare.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. You say well done. I'm like, you take your hockey puck somewhere else, man.
Yeah, that's not steak, man. That's not steak.
Yeah, well done. We're done.
Yeah.
well done is literally not a steak. I don't know what to call it at that point, but it's that you can't call that a steak.
Jerky. It's called jerky.
Jerky.
Yeah.
Roadkill. I don't know what the fuck.
What's your cut, Stu? What you like?
I like ribeyes. Ribeye is a little bit too fatty.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know, like a New York is a little bit less fatty. I usually like those.
I think after my cheat meals, like a New York, but I like a sirloin. Like that's my everyday red meat sirloins, lean sirloins.
This one's not bad.
Yeah, I'll go with you know who upped my steak game was actually Chris Cormier.
Oh, okay, fancy.
Yeah, no, he was every time I'm in San Diego, we're going somewhere to get, steak, lobster. So we went to this one, I think it's called Del Frisco's in San Diego. But they got like this 40-day aged ribeye that's just, dude.
40 days?
40-day aged ribeye.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
it's a minute.
Yeah.
Good.
Gotta be good.
Okay. Yeah.
But overall, I'd say I'll go with the filet. I like a filet.
Filet.
Medium rare and charred. That's how I do it.
I think I'm gonna go pasta. Is that weird?
No.
I figured you were gonna go pasta the whole time. I don't know why. But
I like me a good pasta. I can have a steak with the pasta. I mean,
if we're talking,
you could do all three. I mean, if you want.
Yeah, I mean a burger with the pasta be a little weird, but you could.
I mean, right now, dude, I will do it all.
Yeah, facts. All right,
a mac and cheese burger.
Mac and cheese.
What do y'all think the average person thinks when they see us? By us, I think he means bodybuilders.
Nothing good.
He looks like a really nice guy.
Maybe you only.
No, dude, it's always the same thing. When you have that conversation, you're like, you know what, dude? After talking to you, you're actually really nice. I'm like,
yeah. What does that mean, right? When I first started getting big,
if I walked into like a supermarket, like I feel like I would get like, oh wow, well, do you, I don't know, you play football or some shit, or like a girl would be like, oh, can I touch your arm, something like that, right? Now, I'm usually in a hoodie, but I was at Ralph's and I had like a a t-shirt on, and then I would see people look at me and then look at their friend or girlfriend and like laugh,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm like, huh. I think that means you're really big. If your muscularity makes people laugh, I think that means, I think most people think it's like kind of crazy. Not necessarily a bad thing, but they think it's kind of like a little crazy, right? Like if you thought if you thought like a 7'5" person walking around, you probably be like, what the fuck? Look at your friend and you might like giggle or something. Doesn't mean, it's just different, I think, I think some of them probably think bad shit. But for the most part, I think people are just like, they don't really understand what they're looking at.
They're pretty clueless most of the time. What's real funny is if I go to the store with Melissa and she's right from the gym, so she's just wearing a tank top.
Yeah.
People are used to seeing bigger dudes, right? But then you see a jack chick, you should see the looks are way different.
Way different.
And I want to hang out with her because they're looking at her, like.
Yeah, but I've seen people take pictures, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I've seen it too, dude. Seen it too.
If
I'll
a girl
smack
is
that camera out your hand, dude. Watch out.
they'll do that around me. Like they'll see a jack girl and
it blows their mind so much. They'll try to like get like a film or something. It's like, damn, that's a bit much. So
I see them like this in the line behind us, like Snapchat and shit, sending it to their friends. I'm like, dude, have a little more respect, seriously.
Yeah, is that? I mean, girls probably definitely get more
looks, but probably negative looks. So
I think it's more of that 7'9" type of look. Like, holy shit, I've never seen this. Like, you get this, they've never seen it. It's crazy to me. Like, they just never. We're so used to it, but to them, it's they've never seen it.
Really
there's comments.
Kids, like kids, like young kids, toddlers, babies.
Yeah,
they're just like so confused.
Their eyes are like this big, like
and they don't know that it's rude to stare, right? So like they're just like. It's so adorable.
You know what's the funniest, dude, is when you're like in C class boarding a plane, dude, and you're walking past everybody in the middle of the plane. And
sideways.
Yeah, you're just walking and you're just looking down, and everybody's like right here. You're just like they're looking at you like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Jake, trust me, they're saying, God, I hope he's not sitting next to
Exactly.
Hey, I get on that edge seat, dude, and I hit a lat spread just so I'm like nobody sits next to me.
Yeah, smart.
Oh, man.
Get them out of there.
But speaking about the kids, though, like Stu said, it's so innocent. Like, I don't mind with the kids. I think the best compliment I've ever gotten was from a kid. I was walking into a mall, and the kid was with her mom, and then she taps her mom. She's like, "Mom, look at that guy. He looks like a cloud." And I was like, "Huh."
Wow.
That means 3D. That's good.
That's a compliment. Yeah. The best compliments are from kids and elderly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kids and elderly.
Yes.
Dude, have you ever been complimented by an elderly Southern black woman?
For sure.
Get better than that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's awesome. It's
damn sugar. Like it's just
Well, but the funny part, I think the older or the elderly black woman like the white guys more, and then the elderly white woman compliment the black guys more. Because for some reason, I get more compliments from elderly white women. And that shit makes my day for whatever reason. It makes that shit, every time it makes my day. You know what I'm saying?
As long as I'm not 3 weeks out, I feed into it and I play with them. I love it, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Because I think everybody, in general, they got a bad sense of big bodybuilders. They're all pissed off and shit. So, especially for the little kids when they're coming up and they're saying stuff, I'll make sure that Melissa and I stop and we wave and we say hi. We try to this is normal for us, and we want them to feel very comfortable with it. Because I think in general, they think, oh shit, they must be scary, right?
Yeah. There was a elderly, like Russian sounding lady, and she came up to me. She was like, I feel like men don't get like a lot of like love in the world, right? And she was like, I want you to know you're loved and you're handsome and all that. And I was like, damn. And that shit, I don't know, it made me feel good, She was like, I'm like, yeah, men don't get a lot of love, right? We always, yeah, you're right. Thank you, I appreciate that. But then you realize, Like that's not a thing. You've never heard that. You've never heard a girl come up to you and say shit like that. You're like, "Well, damn, thank you, I appreciate that. That, really nice of you to say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Would you rather your girl or wife go through your friend's group chat or your private search history?
I'm an open book, man. She do
I'm an open book. You could look at whatever.
Yeah, see, when you're married,
Yeah.
you done learned.
I'm gonna say friends group chat because we just talk stupid shit. Private search history. If I'm on trend, you don't wanna go over there. but like nothing inappropriate from a relationship standpoint in the private search history. But you don't want to see the Pornhub searches.
I'm guessing it's older white ladies.
Russian, old Russian white lady porn. Yeah, that's
old white
that
lady,
compliment.
Old white lady compliments a big buff black bodybuilder.
Best category in the world, man. Best category in the world. Oh man. All right, let's do like one more. Oh damn, I lost my. Okay. All right, let's do one more. Best fast food French fry.
McDonald's, hands down.
Five Guys.
You think so?
I like
Cajun
Five. I like Five
fries.
Guys too.
Not
I like
really
Five Guys.
Fries, man.
It's not worth the money.
Yeah,
it's expensive.
Dude, it's crazy. I spend like me and my
expensive.
wife go there. It's like $50 fucking.
For Five Guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah, for
mad
sure,
expensive.
for sure.
It's mad expensive. But
Well, the good thing
Cajun
is
fries, man.
it's
Those Cajun
yeah.
fries are good. They're good.
I'm like,
I will say the Cajun fries are good.
I'm like,
They're
hey,
really good.
I got body work this week. We're going to McDonald's.
I gotta spend $900 this month on body work, man.
You get
Set aside a week's paycheck.
No, the price is crazy, but I will say they do a good job of giving you plenty of fries because you get the small fries, and I'm like, the fuck that large look like? The bag, they stuffed the fucking bag. I'm like, shit, I can't find the burger.
Don't you get a large diet? Isn't it just $1? Like all the fountain drinks from McDonald's are $1.
Not anymore.
I don't even know, bro. I don't
go there. I just remember that's what I liked the best from way back.
Dude, my wife loves McDonald's, and I've driven through the drive-through at McDonald's like so many times, like 2-3 weeks out.
Oh yeah,
Smelling that shit.
Oh, dude, I'll put my just
get some BO just so you don't have to smell fries.
I'm gonna have to go McDonald's fries, but it's a different experience. The Five Guys, it's like that. I consider that like real food. Like if you want real French fries, But if you just want shitty food that tastes good, like shitty fries, then McDonald's got the best shitty fries. Because I don't think Five Guys is considered fast food. I think it's considered a restaurant.
I mean,
Go ahead, Ray.
Really?
I was going to say, I like In-N-Out's fries as long as you eat it within 2 minutes they come out the fryer. So after that, they're fucking soggy and they're cold. And
you don't, dude, so that's what I do. In-N-Out is my shit. Okay, so when I get plenty of fries, I get 2 orders of fries and I ask them for them light. So I don't like them when they're all hard and shit. So when I pull them out, they're like almost like mashed potatoes.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that shit.
Yeah, that is. I like them on crispy.
Crispy.
Yeah,
crispy,
yeah.
Man.
No,
it's gotta be crispy.
everybody likes crispy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I tend to be the guy that goes to a burger shop, and if someone else is there, I'll have 3 of their fries, but I just want the burgers. So I don't know. I just don't eat a lot of fries anyway.
So my this off season with the Cito, it was like, every 3 to 4 days he would say, he says, what do you usually cheat on? And it was always In-N-Out and 2 fries and a piece of cake. So he would just say, okay, tomorrow night, 2 fries, 2 burgers, piece of cake. And it was just like clockwork every 3 days. I was like, this is awesome.
That's not a bad prep.
No, it was really nice.
Every 3 days, damn.
Yeah. Well, I stay pretty clean. I stay pretty. Stay on my diet all year round. You know, there's times in I'll go like visit family, and I won't be at I'll still get my meals in, but I won't be as like crazy about it. But usually it's all year I'm on my diet.
Let me see if. Let me ask you. I'm gonna ask you this one because it's Xavier Wills. I haven't talked to him in a while.
What's up, Xavier? I hope everything's going well with you, man. I heard some crazy stories. Been on the news. All right. Is there any amount of gear that you would say leads to a worse physique?
Too much of anything.
Yeah.
Too much of anything for too long.
If I run orals for like, I don't know, more than a couple months, I get really bad distension. My midsection kind of goes to shit, which might be strange, but I've definitely noticed correlation. I mean, too much test, I get watery, especially closer to the show. You'll look like shit on stage if you take way too much test. But the dose is going to be different for everybody, right? It's going to vary.
Duration, amount, yeah.
Yeah,
Less is
over
more.
time. Over time, the body's just going to degrade, from just too much exposure,
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
You kind of find your sweet spot. I mean, you find. I know people say lowest effective dose, but I mean, a lot of us kind of find the highest effective dose. Like what can we take without getting a negative return? Right? It doesn't mean it's gonna be high, but like if you did 500, you wouldn't just stay at 500 for the next 10 years. You would be like, okay, this is slowing down. Let's try 750 or whatever the case is, and you'll find that okay, at a gram maybe I don't look much better, if better at all, but I feel like shit, right? And then you kind of stay there, right? So that would technically be like you find the dose that works for you. Doesn't high or low is those are relative terms. So high or low is irrelevant. Besides for you, like food, Samson eats 3,000 calories and he could be 330, but you might need 6,000 calories, right? It's irrelevant what the number is. It's just in correlation to your progress, right? I think that makes sense. What does that make sense?
That was not a great question. That was not a great question.
How many meals is he eating? Because usually people ask me, they'll hit me up on Instagram like, hey, I'm thinking about getting real serious. I'm like, yeah. how much meals are you eating a day? Oh, I eat a lot. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I eat a lot for 3 meals.
Jake, you're such a nice guy. You even answer those questions. I feel like you're such a nice guy.
Hey, I don't know, man. This is my first time. I'm just trying to do it right.
All right. Let's do one more better one. Shame on you, Xavier.
Yeah, shame on you.
Blames it on him. He's the one that asked it.
Freakiest proportions of all time.
Bodybuilder or bodybuilder?
I would say Paul Dillette.
I was just thinking Paul Dillette.
Yeah, I'd say
pretty
Paul
freaky.
I think
shit.
Marcus
you turn him around. You turn him around. The back is where'd it go?
Yeah.
Ken, Colossus Ken got the craziest portion.
Nah, man.
Hey, low key, if you want to add women, I'll go Shanique Grant. She don't look to this day. She don't look human. She look like some kind of fucking caterpillar, spider, some shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
Her waist.
Yeah, but praying. I'm sorry, not caterpillar, but praying mantis. Yo, there's no waist. There's everything else but waist. Her head looks bigger than her waist, especially with the bald cut. You see the round ass head with the fucking tiny ass waist, bro. It's insane, bro. I think she looks crazy. I think she could have been Miss Olympia in any division. I think she could have started at bikini. She could have won in the figure. She could have won in physique and bodybuilding if she got big enough. Shit, wellness too. Probably now she she got bigger legs now. So I would say.
Speaking of, we're at the end, but we didn't discuss the new division.
Oh my god,
fit model division. Or at the end, we don't have to cover it. You can cover it next week.
Cover it. Let's fucking cover it, dude. How do you think? How do you guys feel the response to this has been from the community, based off of comment sections?
Community doesn't like it. I mean, I don't think the community like it.
That's been my read as well.
Yeah,
bikini girls don't like it. The bikini girls I've spoken to don't like it.
What was the purpose of adding this division?
We know the purpose. I mean, it's going to make more money. Yeah, I mean,
it is. But Ed and Betty Pariso broke away from the NPC this past year and started their own fit body something. So I don't know if that's just like they want to compete maybe a little bit or just pull some of that market as well. Who knows? But yeah,
what's the criteria for it? Because I'm not really. I don't know much about it. I've seen it, but I didn't dive into.
It's what bikini was supposed to be.
So it's for females only.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, basically, like a natural looking, like how the natural bikini girls look in natural federations is kind of that look.
Bikini girls look natural.
I mean,
IFBB, they look natural.
Oh,
you have the muscle.
I mean, they look natural, but they're not actually natural.
Yeah. When you see them in person, you don't realize how tiny they actually are. Like what I mean like super tiny. Like, but they have capped delts. So they still got like rounded delts and stuff. So it's pretty hard. What I would say though is just the time, man. Like I like. Adding more time to the shows is already that's where you want to add anything you want, go ahead. But my thing is, how does that affect the current time of a regular show? And when you keep adding and adding, this thing is going to go into a 2-day thing at some point.
The Olympia's already having issues with that, right?
Timeline. Yeah. My thing where I would have been fine is if this didn't have a pro division. So if this was like a feeder into bikini, right? So you do this, and then if you want to end up going into the bikini division at some point, then, if you turn pro as a fit, whatever, then you feed into the bikini division from there. I just think like adding this as a subset below bikini was already supposed to be the intro point, the entry point, right?
Yeah.
Now, adding this and making it a pro division is kind of like the separation between especially the female, the separation is like minimal at this point. I almost feel like I worry that they're going to take away, because they're adding this and they're testing out the popularity, they may take away from some of the divisions that are not as popular, like figure, for example, right? The numbers in figure.
Well,
now Sydney Gillen is gone. The numbers are just not adding up. So it worries me. Yeah, it worries me to a point,
Well, we Melissa and I were chatting with Rusty last night about these things because it's like pulling from the other events. We're already seeing a pull from women's bodybuilding and women's physique.
Yeah.
So, to the bodybuilding community, the real bodybuilders, is like, why wouldn't we allocate those resources to those divisions already, right?
Yeah.
But they're pulling from that, and we're adding at the bottom here. So
to be fair, we're athletes. So, I mean, I don't think any athlete would like it because
it just makes it more annoying for the athletes, right? But from a business standpoint, from their standpoint, well, yeah, they're gonna keep adding division if it keeps making money because they look at it as business, right? Now, but there has to be a balance. That's the only thing. Like, at what point is it too much, right? So if you're gonna make more division, make money, and you take that business model, do you stop at 50? You know what I'm saying? Are we stopping at 15 or 50? So at some point, it's gonna be like more divisions, more money, but how much fucking divisions are we gonna have, right? So it's gonna have to stop at some point. From what I hear, they're gonna make another like an entry level men's division. But what's been happening is that they continue to just get more muscular, and you create another one, And that's not going to stop because that's human nature. You see 10 girls that look exactly the same and one has a little bit better abs, you end up picking the one with a little bit better abs. And then now she goes to Olympia and this one has a little bit more capped delts. Then you pick, and you just keep doing it. So it never ends, right? So
it's just a dichotomy because this is an extreme sport, and it's almost like you're trying to create something that is
Not extreme.
less that seems normal in an atmosphere that is currently extreme. So to me, it just, I don't want to say it's going to make money for sure, because what you need is people to pay to enter and compete in these shows. But in terms of the prospective outlook, right? Every time an Arnold comes around, what do people always say? Oh man, Arnold was such a great show to watch. Like, I had a lot of fun. There's a reason why, because we're not sitting there all day watching every single division. Yeah, right. Not everyone's happy that they cut several divisions out of it, but it makes the show digestible for people to watch. Because at the end of the day, let's not fool ourselves here. Bodybuilding is the main event. Everything else is an opener to the bodybuilding show, right? So you keep adding more openers and openers and openers. It's like it gets to a point where people are already tuned out before bodybuilding even takes place, which is what I think is the problem here. It's almost like they're trying to create things that can stand on their own, but I almost feel like these other divisions have to be treated. And it sounds messed up to say, but it's the reality. Look at the numbers. Look at where the money is going. They're openers to the main show, which is bodybuilding. You know, so it's almost like if I would prefer a situation where you pick. There should be a limited amount of openers that you pick towards the main events, right? So maybe you put three openers from whatever of those divisions. You can't just have every single one of them unless it's the Olympia. I'm just looking at it from someone who watches these shows. It's just going to take more time, you know. But
the IFBB and NPC is by far the most successful bodybuilding league in the world. I don't think 100%. It's even close, right? So,
but I feel like it's like 10 to 15% bodybuilding now.
Yeah,
like you call it a bodybuilding league, but like by the numbers.
That's true.
You know?
But you have
three of the many divisions that are actually bodybuilding: men's bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, and 212.
Yeah, that's true. But my point to that is, okay, so I felt like this is because you have like the natural federations for like I feel like they're trying to draw in women that would compete in a natural federation to go to the IFBB, right? To give them a lane. But you can't have every lane. It's impossible. One entity can't just take every lane in the world. There's gun, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like they have fitness on lock already. Like, you know, the entire fitness industry on lock. So to try to get every avenue, I think eventually you're just gonna water it down to the point that it's gonna be less appealing. It's gonna just be like everybody's a IFBB pro. You could look like a regular fit mom at the gym and you're IFBB pro. And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing for prestige, even though it's a good thing for business. So you're fighting prestige, money. Which one are you gonna put ahead? And if it gets like this, I don't think that's a good thing. I think you want to keep it a little closer. But what the fuck do I know, right? What the fuck do any of us know? We just
people will vote with their money and actions. I mean, if nobody signs up for this shit, then you know it dies.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if that's happened before.
They gonna sign up, bro.
They will sign up, man.
because like people want to be part of something, right? Yeah. So if they feel like, wow, I get a chance to be so many. Let's say at one point I was coaching a lot of bikini girls. 80% of them, they're not about this shit. They don't actually. That 20% is hardcore. I'm not gonna lie. There's hardcore ass bikini girls. So I'm not saying that's not what I mean. But 80% of them,
really fucking hard. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that shit is nuts.
That's what I'm saying. But you have 80% of the people of the women trying to do this division that they just want to be part of something. They think it's cool. They don't really want it. And talking to them, prepping them, I'm like, you don't really want this shit. Like, stop bullshit.
Yeah,
You think Laura Lee is cool? You think because guys liking her shit and she's all cute walking. You think it's cute and you think it's cool. You don't really want to do this shit. There's a big difference. And there's girls who really fucking want to do this. This is just gonna attract more girls that just think it's cute. They don't really want to diet. They don't really want to do anything. They have no passion for the sport, but they just want to be part of this thing. Like, oh, you know what I do? I compete. I'm a pro. Look at me, and that's not necessarily, I don't think, a great thing.
Selling
but
validation.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Actually, excuse me. No, it's a great idea.
So
So,
I'm kind of neutral on it because I get both sides, but obviously as an athlete, I I didn't think it was necessary, but you want to make more money, then make more money.
As a spectator, I just think, I mean, so someone who's actually pays to go to these shows and pays for the online streams,
Yeah.
I think it just adds more inconvenience, because
Mhm.
like I said, where the main event is bodybuilding, and think about the Olympia too, like Jake Wood. Now the money, if he was going to pay $600,000, or let's say he was going to pay $1 million prize pool, now that has to be allocated to another division as well, which means that I don't know how they allocate the money or whatnot, but it's definitely going to pull away from someone. It may be bodybuilding, it may be figure, it may be, who knows,
It's Jake not pulling no money from women's
Women's
body.
bodybuilding.
not women's bodybuilding.
Hey, he might put in somewhere else. Oh man. Okay. Well,
I would like to get to a point where it's just bodybuilders. I call it the muscle divisions, right? Bodybuilding, men's bodybuilding, 212, women's bodybuilding, and physique. Those are always mandatory divisions. And then you have an opener. You can choose bikini, you can choose fit model, you can choose two openers or wellness, two openers from female, two openers from men's, and tack them onto the show. I think that would be ideal across the board because bodybuilding is a muscle contest. Those four divisions should be staples in any show. That's just my belief. But what do I know?
Exactly. What the fuck do we? But with that being said, any new girls want to do the fit model division and they're looking for a coach,
shoot me an email at tmacho20s@gmail.com and we can get things started. So more money for everybody, baby. Everybody wins, baby. Let's get this money. Oh man. All right, man.
Ken, stay on for a sec.
Oh yeah. Let's stay on, but y'all got to get the fuck out of here. We see y'all next time.
All right.
How you do it? Leave meeting, right? Leave meeting.
No, end recording. End recording.
Oh yeah, pause it. Oh, how about the
bro? This your tech skills they're degrading, bro. They used to be better.